I am not a number two guy. DeSantis says he won't be Trump's VP. Trump camp responds, DeSantis isn't anybody's guy. Yo, it's an interesting story. Ron DeSantis, the up-and-coming young star of the Republican Party, set to displace Trump, and then he just ran his campaign into the ground. That doesn't mean that Ron DeSantis is down and out. It is still very, very early. But if you look at the latest polls and prediction market numbers, it's only getting worse. And DeSantis is about to drop out of the 20-cent range from 35 as Vivek Ramaswamy skyrockets in the prediction markets. At one point, everybody was saying Trump DeSantis. That was the winning ticket. Then DeSantis decided he was going to be president, not vice president. Then his team made a bunch of PR blunders. And instead of addressing them and trying to improve, his fans and supporters started attacking everyone online and insulting them. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Maybe not. I'm exaggerating a little bit, being a little hyperbolic, but it is very, very strange. Ron DeSantis trying to win a presidential campaign off of inauthenticity and vile supporter behavior. Look, I'm going to criticize DeSantis where he deserves to be criticized. I'm going to praise him where he deserves to be praised. Best politician on the Republican Party side, hands down, no question. And there's nothing you can really say about that. The policy in Florida, near perfect. And not really perfect, but he did a really, really great job. And I have tremendous respect for it. But man, does the dude not know how to run a presidential campaign? And does he have the most vile supporters? Not all of his supporters. I'm talking about the vile ones. Of the people who are extremely vile and toxic, many of them happen to be supporters of DeSantis. They've got tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of followers, and they just mercilessly attack and insult and snarkily deride people who have any criticism of Ron DeSantis. For this reason, I think he's done. I mean, at least for now, it's really, really bad. He could recover, but for now, it's really bad. The Post-Millennial reports. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis stated he would not be interested in being Trump's running mate if given the opportunity. In an interview with Wisconsin Right Now radio show, DeSantis stated that he sees himself as a leader and not a number two. He expressed his preference to continue serving as governor, emphasizing that the vice presidency lacks real authority. Interesting. When asked about his own thoughts on selecting a running mate, DeSantis dismissed the idea as premature, stating that it's too early in the process to be considering such matters. He emphasized the importance of winning early primaries as his primary focus at this stage. I love it. Notably, DeSantis has recently intensified his criticism of Trump. During an appearance on the Mark Belling show, he criticized both President Joe Biden and Trump for their inability to win over suburban women. In response to DeSantis' comments, a spokesperson from the Trump campaign dismissed the governor's remarks. Ron DeSantis isn't anybody's guy. He's not the guy. He's just a guy. Ron is just there. Sullen and sad because his numbers are as tiny as him. Oof, Stephen Chung said. Despite his reservations about being Trump's running mate, DeSantis stated that he would support the eventual Republican nominee, even if it turns out to be Trump. Trump continues to maintain a considerable lead. Let's talk about it. Interactive Polls has the numbers. This was posted yesterday morning. 2024 Morning Consult presidential poll. Biden v. Trump. Biden is up by 1. Biden v. DeSantis. Biden is up 5. Seriously? You know, I was talking about Florida. And in the Florida polls, DeSantis has a considerable advantage over Joe Biden. That matters. Florida's an important state. But with Donald Trump, Trump was leading Biden by 10 points, DeSantis by 13 points. So it's negligible. If nationally, according to Morning Consult, Ron DeSantis can't get anywhere close to Trump, why would we go for DeSantis? You know, for a while, it was looking really good for Ron. And then what I think happened is he got the worst PR team, doubled down on their failures, let them run amok, and burn his campaign to the ground. He could potentially recover this, but we'll see. I can't believe this drop off. Prediction markets now have Donald Trump at 61 cents and DeSantis at 20 cents. Vivek Ramaswamy, 9 cents, in third place in the prediction markets. That's amazing. Vivek's message is moving far and wide. Vivek is authentic. He is willing to address people directly. He is willing. He had a protester screaming at him. He said, say your piece, speak. Because he's not afraid. And he addresses these issues as honestly as possible. And I'm really, really impressed with it. when he said on my show, he thinks perhaps that there needs to be some civic responsibility in exchange for the right to vote or for the ability to vote. And I was like, wow, that's a bold statement. He elaborated on it later and got attacked for it. He didn't care. He's like, it's the right thing to say. He's not going to lie to you about it. That's what he believes. I tremendous respect for it. Take a look at this. We can take a look at let's take a look at the last 90 days. You can see Vivek popping up around the end of June and doing very well. Peaking at, he's at 9 cents as of today. Massive jump. But look at Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is collapsing. Man, I'll show this chart over and over and over again. And I think the reason he's collapsing is partly because of his base. And his base is indicative of the people he surrounds himself with. He should have course corrected as soon as the first downswing happened. You're looking at mid-June. He had a good hit. 35 cents in the prediction markets. His peak previously saw 35 in May. And then when he started floundering, making flubs and mistakes, the advice he must have been given and his decisions started going down. Let me show you an example. Adam Townsend tweeted, DeSantis super PAC never back down, hit with abandonment as New Hampshire, Iowa, South Carolina have had a large drop off in organizers and new volunteers at its training hub in Des Moines. Trained and dispatched ones are not showing up for canvassing, door knocking, phone baking. I don't know if that's true. I am not here to report that it's true. I'm here to show you the response. So Adam Townsend hears a rumor or maybe a source has told him this information, so he tweets it. Max Alago, who is a diehard for DeSantis, who has been accused of actually being someone working on the DeSantis campaign, I don't know, maybe not, said bad sign for Team Trump when they feel the need to make this kind of thing up. Panicking? Oh, it is so insufferable. Panicking? Here you go. Adam Townsend said, when have I expressed my preference? For the record, I did this in defense of negative press Ron DeSantis was getting. As far as making things up, you know I am correct. I think the campaign has plenty of opportunity to self-correct, and I genuinely hope it does. Adam Townsend addresses this, saying, I have never indicated my preference for any of the Republican candidates. I stick to campaign technicals. My issue is Republicans, Democrats, and Indies need a vehicle for dissent. I believe the DeSantis campaign appears to be engineered to suppress that and not let it express itself. If you think I have been unfair to DeSantis, share with me instances. I genuinely hope the DeSantis campaign and its allied PACs self-correct, but this cannot happen without that demand. Beyond that, it is not wrong of me to observe and share my opinions based on the merits. So either A, you want your candidate to win and to be responsive to people who would like to see the campaign progress, or you don't. Here's why I bring this up. I don't know if it's true, but you can see the response Adam has given to his opinion statement on what he believes is happening, whether it's true or not. Toxic individuals attack him and call him Team Trump. In fact, I believe the response was when he was like, when have I expressed a preference? Max Alago says, I'm not accusing you specifically of making it up. Someone made it up, though. Did they? He says, please note this post as well. I wanted people to read the SCOTUS ruling, and I even turned it into an audiobook, and I realized the perception of being profoundly anti-abortion and being weaponized against conservatives and targeted at RDS in particular. This is the issue I have with Ron DeSantis. I will tell you, his policy is excellent. Florida, wonderful. COVID policy was done right. Domestic policy on culture war issues, parental rights, masterfully done. But why can't he get his messaging right? Ron lacks charisma. Fact. If you can't accept it, he deserves to lose. If Ron can't accept it, he deserves to lose. And it appears that Ron has been unwilling and unable to accept that he has a messaging problem. His fans are unwilling to accept it. They respond to this point by saying, but policy matters more. I never said it did or didn't. I, in fact, said his policy was masterful. It was amazing. I really like it. I'd vote for him. However, I dropped off the DeSantis trail when he put out those deep fakes. And at first I said, just get rid of him. Say it was a mistake. We won't do it again. And then I'd love to come around and be like, okay, DeSantis is back on the list. No, he won't do it. He won't. For all the mistakes he makes, he ignores them. And for that reason, he does not deserve my vote. Vivek Ramaswamy, who I've said I would consider voting for in the primary, addresses all of these issues and just approaches them. He doesn't run from them. The dude's fantastic. I love that. in a politician. He's not really a politician, but he will be soon if he gets elected, right? Trump has his problems too. Trump can be really annoying. Trump lies about stuff. It's true. At least Trump is going to fire people, even if it's only one. I genuinely believe we'll get some firing. I think Ron DeSantis will go in and negotiate and try and compromise. You can appreciate that or not. But this is the most frustrating thing. He's got high-profile individuals surrounding him, DeSantis does. And when you criticize something he does that's wrong, they attack you for it, insult you, call you stupid. I actually had his campaign staff tweeting at me and insulting me for pointing out some issues relating to Florida. Okay, count me out, man. You guys are like whiny babies who can't handle the heat of the kitchen. Sorry, I don't care if you're mad or you're going to unsub or you call it DeSantis derangement syndrome. You guys have like, I'm talking about the violence. There are reasonable people I've talked about DeSantis. I have friends supporting DeSantis. But man, these real vile people just cannot see what's happening around them. And I warn you, if you keep this up, you will lose. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes. Stick around and I'll see you all shortly.